we are recording our sessions of spirituality. This is take what, Dallas?
Well, actually, it's our very first take, but we'll say take 3,976 because we've slacked, and this is the first time we've done this. So
what we were talking about is the Jesus energy, and it's been coming around a lot lately. In different instances, other people are talking about that Jesus energy too, and something that everybody knows about us is that we are spiritual, although we were brought up in Christianity, so we have an understanding, but overall the understanding of everything, and putting people into positions, not just males but females, who you are drawn to, and these people have an energy about them which we can call the Jesus energy. And that energy is what else?
The Jesus energy is a feeling of the true essence of good natured. And we see it in people, like Holly said, such as Princess Diana and what how she led her life, and you could just see that radiate through her. Yeah. Buddha, It's an energy that flows through you that impacts a lot of people. It's a feeling that you get that automatically invokes something within that heart chakra. It's one of those gravitational energies that pulls you toward it, and it's just that very good nature vibing on that frequency that people are so attracted to, and that's what we all, as enlightened people, are striving for. We're striving for that Jesus energy.
Yeah, and the thing about it is people are striving for that energy, but a lot of them have no clue how to get there, and that's a part of their journey that they have to understand in the spiritual awakening with their soul contract. So what's beautiful about what we're talking about is how people, wholeheartedly good people, do not have necessarily a whole belief system, but morals and just a base of love and acceptance and just being a good person. We've all met someone who's made an impact on our life, and we would hold them up into an enlightened state. Whether we tell them or not, we do have those feelings toward them people. You just know that they're a good person, and they are very, very spiritual.
Yeah, because when you think of Jesus, we always think of it within that box that we're placed in with religion. Like Holly said, we grew up Southern Baptist, so we were always familiar with the stories and the parables of the Bible, and we can quote verses with you all day if you'd like. But what people are missing out of Jesus was that he was a person as well. And it's more of his energy that people were drawn to, and not that human nature side. Like, soul versus body. People were connecting with his soul. And he was able to let that radiate through, So that is why he saved the nations, we'll say, by opening their eyes spiritually and letting them evolve naturally and on a spiritual trajectory that way,
Yeah.
And of course we all know what that led to, like the censorship of the Bible is tainted so much by man.
Absolutely.
So take with a grain of salt that, but
yeah, I think as now we can call ourselves channelers, and we'll get deeper into a channeling whole blog about channeling, but also I'm forgetting what the fuck I'm talking about. Spiritual high times here in the sanctuary.
This is for Dallas and Holly's use only.
Maybe. But no, it's so cool. It's so cool because now we're picking out these people and saying, "Oh, they've got the Jesus energy."
Yeah, you can feel that vibe. Once you connect with that vibration, it's hard to deny it.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think anybody would see it and feel it and just crave it. That's what we do as a human, is we crave these desires that we formulated in our heads, you know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful subject. And it's good to show people that Jesus, just because you put Jesus in front of it, because I know at one time, God, the word God grinded my gears. And the reason it did is because the religion is tainted, and unfortunately, it is a name that has been given to a higher power, and we know that. But the Jesus energy is the same as that higher vibrational energy, just that ultimate high that you may think you can reach in your spiritual journey.
Yeah, and that's what I've always, ever since I had, especially this last Great Awakening, you know, I have strived for that, man. I've strived for inner peace, and people like that, they just exude inner peace and confidence and strength, you know. That's what I strive for, and that's what that energy creates, you know. That's when you emanate on that frequency, that's what you're going to attract into your life.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful thing, and I wish more people would start to see that.
Yeah, me too. Well, I think that's enough for this session of High Times with Holly and Dallas.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace out, motherfuckers! Okay, so what we're talking about is the imagination. We were getting into a deeper conversation about childhood, about how much we, looking back now as an adult, and especially an enlightened person, is you're able to see the moments where you used your imagination as a kid.
Yeah. And this is take 2, by the way, which is really take 3,906, but or whatever I left off on last time. But yeah, well, as a kid, I was telling Holly I had a very active imagination, and we were always pretending we were something, or that we lived somewhere else, and all this and that brought to the attention our imagination, and how important that actually is in the spiritual process. And we didn't know that at the time, and of course it was shut down by our parents, who were taught the same, that this shit isn't real.
Right.
And it suppresses you is what it does. It makes you less dangerous to the open ideal of society.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and that's the whole thing. When we get deeper into that in imagination, you're not supposed to have that imagination after a certain age. You're supposed to grow up out of that, you know. And people always will question, especially psychics or anybody who's in tune. They'll go, well, how do you know it's just not your imagination? And that's something that gets asked to us, being spiritual mentors. We're encountering that right now, where people are like, this is an amazing experience. How do I know it's just not my imagination?
Yeah, and it's that self-doubt that's been instilled in you by your parents, unfortunately, whether they know it or not, you know. And and then it just continues that trajectory of being shut down, because we're all born open with this wonderful imagination, which is our consciousness, and it's just camouflaged into everyday life and shut down so they can control the masses. Yeah. And by they, it's a bigger collective of this shit energy that's around on the earth right now. So.
Yeah. We all know that, like with energy, because we talk about the shit energy. There's always got to be a balance of positive and negative, and we understand that. We're not ignorant to that. But it's obvious in these times now that people have lost out on their imagination for so many decades that it's coming back to them and in their awakening. And what I want people to know about the imagination is it's so much more than just making up things inside of your head, because when you truly start to connect with spirit and other entities and just energy, you do have these profound experiences in meditation that makes you question yourself. But that's good. You're supposed to question yourself.
Exactly. That's what gets the ball rolling, I think, in my opinion. Often we stress too much about everyday life, right? And so that kind of puts our blinders on to this, and we'll just fall right into that negative energy. I'm guilty of it. I know you're guilty of it.
Absolutely.
And we just have to keep reminding ourselves of who we are and what we are doing here, and just keep those vibes high as
Absolutely.
possible.
Yeah, going back to the imagination, I think it's awesome, because we've all been through that moment of wow, where's this coming from? I ain't gonna lie. I mean, we do, especially when you get deeper into this. I know for channeling, it was, hard for me, but not in the heart of the sense that I knew I was channeling. I knew it wasn't me. Luckily, I had you around.
Right.
Because otherwise you would be questioning your sanity at that point. Right. Even though in your heart of hearts you knew you were sane, you were fine, but it's nice to have someone around who could witness it.
Yeah, and the cool part is that both of you have this ability to do so. You know what I mean? Like to channel that energy, so you both get to experience both sides of the fence.
Absolutely. Well,
you get to be the commentator or the questionnaire or whatever you want to call it. And then also you get to let it flow through.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that don't have that connection with someone on that deep level to where they can share and be. It's a very intimate, sacred moment. Because it is also embarrassing. It's, to an extent, because you're speaking, you're in the back seat. Channeling is what it is. And so when your mouth opens, it's going to be a different accent, sometimes a different tone, and it's crazy. And to have someone there to, again, witness that and to be your question person is amazing.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you've witnessed it, you'll always know that it's 100% legit, because those features of the face do change so much, and that tone in the voice, and just that person would never speak that particular way. So that it's legit when it's happening. So
let me ask you this, because what's going through my mind right now is we was led to the left brain, right brain, and we knew that was part of our journey that we needed to go on, our classes per se that we had to go through to understand.
Right.
And I'm losing it.
What
was I saying?
About the left brain, right brain.
Yes, the left brain, right brain. So do we access, even as a child in our imagination, the right brain more than the left? And that's the reason why children are more open with their pineal gland.
Yeah, absolutely. I think very much so that's what happens. When you look at a light bulb throughout the years, the shine is so bright. When you first put that new light bulb in, and then just over the years it starts getting duller and duller and duller. That's what's happening. People are dulling your light, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
we're teaching also what this is cool. Think about it. Imagination, if it is more, it's dominant right side. And we are taught to use the left or both at the same time. We're not focusing on that right side.
Sorry.
So it ends up being the situation. It makes sense.
Yeah, which brings me to another good point in my philosophy about what's trying to happen in our soul versus body reconciliation right now. Is we've learned to tap into that right brain, and we can switch that over very easily now. But how do we break down that middle barrier, maybe through the pineal gland or whatever you want to call it, or the midbrain from the right brain to the left brain? What can we do to lower the curtain, so to speak, or to make it fire all together? Right. Like to make your brain just one big harmonious symphony where it's not left brain and right brain, which I believe is 100% pure consciousness. That's when we'll be
exactly
at that enlightened level.
Yeah, that's exactly why I feel like that we don't have total access to it. It's a lot to take in. I've always referred to the more updated Indiana Jones, where he wants all the information. He's surrounded by the aliens, and they're like, you can't handle it, and he wants it so bad they give it to him, and he bursts. His body just bursts.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we know in channeling that when we encounter these higher energy beings, in order for them to channel through us, this is something cool to know, that our body's got to match their frequency level as well. Absolutely. So we'll feel them pop in, and it's definitely a different energy. It's overpowering. We have to learn to meet that frequency, and to meet that frequency, we're going through these lessons to learn to tap into the frequencies of them.
Absolutely. And frequencies has been huge in our path this past little bit, and it's for that particular reason, no doubt.
Yeah.
And speaking of energies being around, we will sit in meditation here, and we'll instantly both pick up on these energies, and it's by vibration 100%. Whether it's me channeling my chants that I do, or Holly doing it over there, or us working together, we have this one tone that we use that will pretty much every time put us into what we're referring to as the astral plane, because that's what we feel like it is.
Absolutely. So with the astral plane, you guys, if you're not familiar with that, it's one of the planes of existence. It's definitely something I've always resonated with. I know in Hinduism they have the 14 planes. Shoo, it's just too double for me, so we're going to keep it at 7. But we know that there's infinite, really, honestly, if you think about it.
Right.
But closest to us, between the etheric, which is what is said to hold spirit, your soul essence of who you were, then you got the astral. And the astral is a lower vibrational, higher plane.
Right.
So the astral can be a good place to be, to work, but you also have to be careful not to drag your energy down more, because below us is the astral plane as well.
Yeah.
So as above is below, and that makes total sense with that, because if you've ever astral projected and you've had a bad experience, more than likely, 100% I know, is because your vibrational level was pulled down.
Yeah.
Some people cannot control that. I know I can't. But you can train yourself to bring your vibrations up before you go to bed to help with the process.
Right. Which I think is what we're doing when we're doing that tone together. When we enter into that zone, we're getting more comfortable with it. So I'd be anxious to see if you had another experience astrally projecting that you don't necessarily control, and how the vibrations would be different now versus
then.
Yeah, because it was low. You were in that lower vibrational plane.
Absolutely.
Eventually we're ascending from.
Yeah, no, I would love to, but I can't stop dreaming.
Right, I know. Yeah, speaking of dreams, we've been having very vivid dreams. That
it's been over a year.
I'm not going to lie, 9 times out of 10 I don't remember them, but I know that I'm doing something in those dreams. This latest one I woke up from, and I did remember myself and Holly, and we were standing there kind of working like a slide puzzle of symbols. But of course it was no slides or anything like that, but we were standing there moving those symbols around like we were trying to work a puzzle, which has been some synchronicity for us a little bit here lately too. But
it's I don't know, it's amazing. We could sit and, which we do, this is what we do. We sit here and we get in the zone and start channeling the information. That's going to be one of our upcoming blogs, is about channeling, because the different types of channeling. We hear channel, and I ain't gonna lie, before when I thought of channeling, the only thing I thought about was a medium.
Yeah, like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost. And
but there's so much more to it, and we're going to go in depth with it. And we're also coming up to, we're going to talk about natural healing. We want to hone in on that and give it some credit, because there's always you do Reiki. No, it's not Reiki. Reiki is a Japanese art, and I'm not drawn to that. And I'm a natural healer. It's something that I was gifted with, or opened up to, shall I say, not gifted with, but opened up to, because it's in all of us.
Absolutely.
And everybody can be that natural healer if they're taught to tap into it correctly. Some people think they have to go through these classes and spend thousands of dollars to do so. That's not true. The only thing the difference between Reiki and natural healing is we don't go by any kind of strict, this is how you do it. It's how Spirit leads us to do it. And these sessions can end up being hands-on healing sessions. These sessions can be past life things going on. And you just don't never know, and that's a natural healer for you. And that's something that we've been wanting to write for a while. I know, especially me, because it's something I've always, in the past, not always, but in the past, I've struggled with getting Reiki certification so that I can make myself be more, look more professional, I guess I'll say. But I knew in my hearts of hearts that I didn't want to do it, so I didn't.
And kudos for you not giving in to the pressure and just doing you. That's what's wrong with everybody these days.
Exactly.
They bow to the pressure of other people. Listen, people, we are our own temple. This is all we got right here. This is our soul protector, this body. Respect that,
Yeah, absolutely. And when you you don't follow people, and
No.
you take advice from people, but you don't have to actually act upon it if it's
Right.
not something that resonates with you.
Right.
So I totally get that. But, I guess the lesson out of this is to show people, there's so many people out there that struggle with that. They go into Reiki, which is a wonderful tool for people to learn energy. I think everybody should learn energy. But if you're not drawn to that whole confined in a box thing, then natural healing's where it's at.
Absolutely, and why not? I mean, if you can sit down and you can focus your energy or focus on energies, you're doing very well, whether you realize it or not, let alone letting it flow through you.
Yep.
And healing. Just
Which is
giving that healing energy, which anybody can tap into if they allow themselves to get into the mindset.
absolutely, and that's something that we teach at the retreats. I mean, people leave knowing that they channel. I mean, that's it. They're channeling energy, and they're like in wow of it, and it's that easy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I guess that wraps up
Yeah.
this session.
We will be back. Peace out.
Peace out.
I wanna pop with you, baby.
The break of dawn. I think I remember them playing that in the skating rink too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it a bit. They drive right around the ring,
Yeah.
bebopping in and out.
Yeah.
The couples dance, what they always held on to each other and skated
Yeah.
down through there.
And they had it going on. I don't think you have
They
to
do
keep
them.
tapping it.
They do them little fancy, like twirls in and out
Yeah,
of each other and
that's
stuff.
back in now, right
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy.
I'm like, good on y'all.
In Atlanta, it never really left.
No,
Remember on, like,
because
that
it's like
T.I.
a
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fad or whatever.
Well, I guess roller skating was big in the
It was the 70s.
yeah. Well, yeah.
It's funny how those trends roll back around, and it also leads back to that spiritual thing too.
Yeah, and I think skating was big in the black communities.
Yeah. It's artistic.
It is.
It's all about showing or flowing that body,
Yeah,
let
I
that
love
energy
that.
flow through the body and all that.
Love that. Should we try to shut the door?
Yeah.
You think? I guess this is when real sanctuary time commences.
This is an authentic version of our meditation sessions.
Yeah, so no, it's not like Budapest
No.
in here. It's more like us bursting out in song and saying,
Yeah.
I feel this and that, and then channeling this beautiful conversations we carry on in this room. Your sanctuary, guys, is a place that you create within your home. Your sacred space is within yourself.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
And everybody needs a sanctuary. It's a life-changing move, let me tell you. I don't care what you have to dedicate in your house as a sanctuary. Do it and start meditating in it.
Yeah.
Invite at least one other person that you can jive with in. You'll start to see the beautiful growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if
This
you
room
don't
is-
want to invite anybody in, do it for yourself.
Yeah, it's so healing. And you start to realize that too when you have your sanctuary. And I'm not sure a lot of you know and have sanctuaries.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what we're speaking about. People are drawn to that room. They'll come in there for no reason. And they don't even know why they come in the room.
Right.
They'll come in and, let go of anything that's on their mind and just let it spew out. And they'll try to walk away but come back. And we know.
They're always gravitating toward the sanctuary. And it's this way outside. We're lucky enough to be able to exude this energy, I feel like, that makes people gravitate toward us and interested in what we have to say, which is very important spiritually.
Absolutely. So we've had this big epiphany lesson. It's so cool, guys, because the last 2 days I've seen 1222. And I'm not familiar with that because that's not some of the numbers that I typically see. And so Dallas researched it. and it was very, very on point with what we are going through right now on our spiritual journey.
It really was. It nailed it. Look it up. The meaning of 1222.
It's so cool.
It's really cool. Yeah. So what I would like to do is maybe have a little interactive session here.
Yeah.
Where Holly and I have recently started using tones to connect with energies. So why don't we do one of our little sessions here and see what we capture?
Sure. Which one do you want to do?
We'll do the one that we have been doing that takes us to the astral. Oh, don't panic.
Oh, it's a bee, everybody.
It's a honeybee.
We got a honeybee. A lot of lively plants here in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Keeps that oxygen level up.
It
Brain
does.
power.
Yeah. So back to the task at hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do this little call and see what kind of energy we can
You guys
drum
might
up.
find this familiar, by the way.
Ooh, and then we can do that 1, 2, with the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, what are we listening to? These people have lost their damn minds, but trust the process. So if you are currently wanting to take process in this feeling of energy, then go ahead and take a moment and sit down and relax. Maybe put headphones in and just listen and enjoy. And feel free to let us know what the feelings are that you get with this.
Yeah, we want to know what it invokes inside you. We know what it does for us, but we would be curious to know if it does the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing that one.
Is that the one we were going to do for the astral? Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. No, let's do the dream one. You're right. That goes to the astral.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Here we
bad.
are, like this portal goes here.
Oops.
It's so weird because it's tones and frequencies.
Yeah,
and
it's cool
so this,
how we're
so be
actually
it.
using this, in our...
So we know that we're going to be singing this song, and you guys are going to recognize this song. But keep in mind that the tones and frequencies that are coming out, it's our way of putting it out of our mouths.
Yeah, so pay attention more to the tones and the sounds than the actual lyrics of the song. And this is just impromptu, so we'll roll with it, whatever it sounds like.
Dream, 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 dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do, you should be feeling the energy change, is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream.
Okay, so I'm in a very relaxed, very deep state. I feel like my brain has switched over to that right brain.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And I feel like we have maybe entered what we refer to as the astral realm.
Yeah.
And I hear the energies that we've drummed up, with the vibrations of the tones.
Right. Now I feel this is distinct to us because it's something that we've been working with, this energy and the astral. Now, what's funny is that in recent sessions we talked about the astral plane a little bit. We touched on that and having out-of-body experiences and things of the sort. But this is different. This is a conscious connection to the astral. So not many people have that. Now, let me tell you guys what I'm seeing right now. My body does not, if I put my hands out in front of me, it looks like that I am viewing out of goggles, like virtual headsets. And it's very cool because everything, it's so cool because it looks like you're just...
It does. I can vouch for it.
It's just so hard to explain.
The perfect example is what you said. It feels like you're looking
in a
through
game,
a VR
like
headset.
Yeah, my kids have a VR headset,
Or if you're
so I
looking
know.
through, the way I compared it yesterday was when you're at a kaleidoscope, but when you're at the optician's office and they're switching the lenses back and forth, which one looks more clear, it kind of flips over and it gives you that kind of view like through a lens.
Right. And I know for me, the way that I'm working with this is I have to close one eye and cock the other one.
Yeah. And that's how you see through. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. That's what I do with I leave my right eye open, cocked open, and my left eye shut.
Yeah, same.
But what's interesting, Holly and I both have felt this when you switch to that right brain.
Yes.
In between your eyebrows, you'll feel a switch, and it's like a little circular whoop over motion.
Yeah.
You can feel it switch over, which is the strangest sensation.
And with Dallas's, his arches, mine actually goes straight to I can feel it switch straight across.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, you could feel something
different. It could
different.
be different, 100%. Yeah, but you'll feel that little switch.
So guys, if you're at the point where you're understanding what we're talking about, the right brain, left brain, we've talked about it in other sessions as well, but the right brain and left brain is something we have been taught months and months ago that have been played into. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing, the puzzle pieces that are put together and how we have them aha moments.
Absolutely.
It's growth. It's amazing, and it's getting more and more every day.
Yeah.
It's right in front of your face.
Instant gratification,
absolutely.
so to speak.
Yes, the synchronicities and everything. We were talking about Lilydale not too long ago, and I swear to you guys, I have been to Lilydale to visit and through New York and stopped by Lake Erie to check it out. So nobody was on this beach at all. No cars, nothing. That's why we stopped there. And I meet this man, and he's come out of nowhere with his dog. And he starts talking about, he knew the accent was different. He asked where we're from, and I said Virginia, and he said I've been out there for concerts or whatever. And he asked why we were there, and I was like, because this is what we do. And he was like, well, that's kind of a coincidence, because I worked for Lilydale. I was a security guard for a while, and it's just 15 minutes up the road. Right. So I was like, wow, that's so cool. So let me get back to Dallas. We was talking about Lilydale, and he was looking at stuff on his phone about Lilydale, and that man, out of nowhere, I have not talked to him or anything, he posted on my timeline saying, hey, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I'm that guy that with the dog on the beach at Lake Erie. And he's like, I was like, wow, this was the same time that we were just looking at Lilydale. So what are the coincidences of that? There's none. That's instant gratification on a scale of validation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's pouring in like that, guys. We have these insanely profound moments in meditation, and a couple days later we'll read an article that somebody's experienced something very similar to what we went through, and it's just like mind-blowing. And then you just start connecting with all these people through your thirst for knowledge, and that creates that network. And that's the ones that we call like the enlightened ones that get it on a deeper level.
Absolutely. It's just amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot the fuck we're talking about.
I did too, but
wait, you gotta go. What are you gonna do?
It's like that. It's like when you screw in a light bulb. It's really nice and bright at first, but throughout the years it loses its dim. It dims. It loses that luster, and that's kind of what happens to us in life, on our spiritual journey. So yeah, that's our new thing.
That's our Family Guy moment. How they have Conway Twitty.
Yeah,
we've got the light bulb.
Right.
I love it.
Me too.
But anyway, we know our message was across, and we need to end the session because that's Spirit's way of saying, hey, bitches, pay attention. So peace out, guys.
Peace out. Welcome back, fellas and guys and girls and dolls.
Hello.
You are joining us for, this is, I think, take 3.
I think so. Yeah.
Which is actually 3,908 actually, but you know, we're slackers, and who's counting? Exactly.
Welcome to Contact Us,
where we hope to just share this spiritual knowledge within us that's been gifted, and maybe instill that through you.
Yeah, absolutely. This show's all about spirituality, and it flows out as we sit and meditate and just let the world run across our eyes, and anything that wants to come through and speak, we'll allow that at the time too.
Yeah.
You just never know what you're going to get here on Contact Us.
You don't, and it's interesting. I like how you phrase that with your eyes.
Yeah.
Let what passes through you, let you see it with your eyes. You know, that makes a good point, because you're realizing that your mind isn't a separate entity, that it's all integrated into one, you know. So you're becoming at one with yourself.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm just enjoying the ride right now.
It's a beautiful ride, let me tell you. And if you are spiritual at all, which I feel like you are if you're listening at this point, then I hope this very feeling that we have resonates through this podcast for you to be able to enjoy what we're feeling right now. And this is a feeling of enlightenment. This is a feeling of knowing that the spiritual work that you've been putting in is paying off. It's reaping the rewards of all the shit work that you've been through in the past. And, you know, you look back on your spiritual journey and it pieces together like puzzles. You can see why everything had to happen exactly the way it did to get you to where you need to be. And that is a beautiful state of enlightenment right there.
Yes, it is. I'm enjoying right over here. I'm actually in meditation.
Yeah, which we've been doing wholeheartedly a ton of in the past year. And it has transformed us so much spiritually that you wouldn't even recognize us if you'd seen us before versus now, you know. So hard work pays off, and it's worth it, guys. It's worth sitting down for 10 to 15 minutes a night and just letting it all pass through, you know, just going into that meditation. Dealing with the thoughts that enter your head. That's the shit work that you have to get through after you realize what you've been through previously in life, just walking through mindlessly. You know, it all makes sense in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking, you know, as children, as a growing adulthood, whatever, you're always told what to do by someone. Think about that.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
You're always told what to do by someone else.
Yeah. So you are never truly experiencing you.
Yeah.
You're experiencing direct influences from outside individuals, and that's kind of created the mindless drobe that you continue to be as an adult until you have that aha moment where something jolts you and makes you look to the side and be like, hey, something didn't feel right there. And then it opens up that gate to allow you to explore that spirituality, you know.
Absolutely.
And until we get to that point, we walk around in that state of mind. We invite that lower vibrational energy because that's all we know at the moment, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody awakens in different ways. Enlightenment comes in different ways too. A lot of people don't understand is that there are ways that separate them or release their egos, and that's the things that get in the way of differentials in lives. Yeah,
and true spiritual ascension, I would say even. Yeah, I agree with that. Ego will stunt the growth of anything. You may be the most successful author who's ever written a book, and you're just rich and you know that you're full of shit is what it is. You've built up this empire and you've let it go to your head. That ego will come crashing down at some point in time. Life has a way of humbling you to cease that ego. You know what I mean?
I always say too, like, to look at it this way, you can't fake spirituality when it comes down to it. And you sure in hell ain't going to be able to fake being someone that you're not altogether.
Absolutely. You may put on a grand show. You might be one of the best actors, because there is people who can pull the wool over your eyes that know how to kind of sort of talk the talk, but they definitely not walk the walk. And people like us, we can see through that bullshit.
Absolutely.
And that's why people feel threatened by that. You know what I mean? Because it's calling attention to their own bullshit.
Yep. Absolutely. 100% agree. And, you find too on the spiritual path, I know a lot of you can relate out there, is that's why you lose people around you. And sometimes that hurts.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, and sometimes you question why.
Yeah.
But the truth is your light shines brighter each time that you embrace a part of yourself.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about those type friendships. They're in your life for a reason. They're to show you that there's people who don't have your best intentions at heart. Right. Who will fool you and trick you into thinking that they're on the same level as you, but they've never truly had your good intentions at heart. So I feel like that ties the lesson together. You have to go through that to realize that it was a lesson. And if you don't realize that it's a lesson and in the cycle, it circles back around.
Absolutely.
Until you do complete that lesson in life. And that's how you raise those vibrations.
You know what's so cool being on this path? And we say ascension, and we don't even know where we're at on the ascension code, but I can tell you it's the view is different. You can actually see things quickly, quicker. It's like the synchronicities and things and validations. It instantly comes to formation.
It really does, and when we say that, we're being 100% honest. We'll sit here in meditation and have this crazy, random, beautiful experience, and then the same evening we'll see an article where somebody else has stated something very similar, Yeah. And all the synchronicities are just flaming right now, guys. Just pay attention, open your eyes, they're all around.
So for a while now, me and Dallas have put out little things on. I do it through my Facebook, but we're sitting here thinking, I'm like, what if everybody else is experiencing this too? So over the past month or so?
Yeah, within the last month, absolutely.
That I've posted questions every once in a while, and it's stuff that we're experiencing. I wanted to see how many people on my Facebook were experiencing this too, and oh my God. It's been crazy, the responses, and everybody's like, okay, now tell us why, Holly.
Yeah. And we're sitting here doing the Lord's work, trying to figure it out too, so just hang in there with us. We'll eventually figure it out. Yeah. Give us time. We got to work through this.
No, but the reality is everybody's projection of what they thought was.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is supposed to mean, but
well, the perception of what it is, the perception of what is right now, is not what they thought it was.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm on board with you there. And there's just been so many things happening spiritually.
It really has.
And when we are here saying we're growing exponentially spiritually, well, guess what? We're not exaggerating in the least. If you put in the least little bit of work right now, you're getting that instant gratification in connection with spirit, which so many people are missing right now.
Yes, they are. And I've been preaching meditation forever to everybody. And the truth of this is, some people just need a focus point, someone to show them a dumbed down way of connecting with themselves, because we have overcomplicated everything. And you still with me?
Yeah, we have. We 100% have overcomplicated everything, for sure. My fear is that people won't ever get to experience this beautiful feeling right here.
I know.
So that's why I am working so hard to get everybody woke, so to speak, so that they can join in with the love, because it's a collective consciousness, guys. It's all of us together. When they say we're all in this together, they are truthful, but they're using it for political gain. That's not what I'm doing.
So for the past 3 days, we have went up in meditation and got pulled up above the world with a group of other people that we don't see as light beings, but we can tell it's other humans or other energies that we can make. Not just humans. That's me being
racist.
No, what do they call it? Galactic racist or some racism or some shit.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But anyway, you could tell that they got the same kind of light we do.
They do, yeah.
And so we connect. I feel someone holding my hands.
It's like a physical reaction. It really is.
Yeah, and we concentrate that energy to the earth, and it's all love and healing. And I so want to incorporate that into our lives and our podcasts, and I just think it's awesome that Spirit is giving us so many beautiful tools to work with.
Because we have been in meditation, and I've been sending that healing vibration that I've been doing through chants. I've been sending that out along with the energy that's flowing through me to heal the parts of the world.
Yeah.
I had this beautiful vision where I was in different parts of the world doing exactly that in meditation, and then 2 nights later, Holly sees this thing on TikTok where these people were protesting in Australia, and they're doing that same tone that I was doing, which I'm coincidence probably, but Anyway, it's amazing what your energy can do if you allow it, or if you get in touch with it and are able to harness it and send it, where you need it to be.
Yeah, and for us to make a change, the more people, the better.
Absolutely.
And that energy is changing, and it's moving the energy around. And we've talked. We're actually going to write a blog too, but talking about all the stuff that's going on in the world, all the violence, all the. And there's a trend. I mean, you can obviously see what's happening up in the airlines. So there's a certain something going there.
Some kind of frequency.
Right. And so the school shootings, schools, all these schools. And God, we could go on.
Yeah, all the ugliness in the world, it's vibrating in that same frequency. And it must be super easy to tap into that frequency in airlines or up in the air whenever flying. We've seen so much of that lately, of people just irrationally exploding on these flight attendants and all that, punching their teeth out.
Like it's just public. Anybody.
So that's a collective consciousness right there that's vibing on that same level.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out how to get out of that, and that's what we're hoping to do, is get that everybody woke, so to speak, so they can join us up here and not down there in that sludge.
Yeah. Because we're going up. I mean, we can only take who we can take, You touch who you touch in life. And,
absolutely.
And that's all there is. And then you just go, man.
Yeah, don't let the guilt get to you because you tried.
Yeah.
You can have a clear conscience that you tried everything you could,
Yeah.
And that's why we got to live the best that we can live, and get those karmic points.
Right, we're living our soul contract too.
Absolutely.
That's something to remember.
100%.
It's been a great talk.
It has, guys. I want to thank you all, and peace out.
Bye. I said there's a healing in the mountains, down in that hollow, up on that hill. 9 o'clock at night, you can see them hollow hippies sitting in that sanctuary, connecting going beyond. Can you feel that contact buzz?
Yeah, I feel it. I hope you guys do too. We might know those holler hippies that Holly's referring to. Also, too, that's so true. There's so much healing in these mountains. We were just having a conversation about people coming back home to heal from all their bullshit. Lives didn't go the way they planned, you name it. There's always a reason that we as Appalachians are called back home, and it is that healing energy. It's that beautiful blanket of security. It's that beautiful small town feel. It's healing. It's
really
magic,
is.
and people don't even realize it.
It really is, and people hate it when they leave here, and they don't ever want to come back because of the small town lives and how people are. But they don't realize is they're reacting to how people are. They're not just being. And so when they come, like Dallas was talking about a spiritual awakening, they come back to the mountains to heal. Despite of what they've been through here, and that might bring up emotions, but that's part of their spiritual work too.
Yeah, it's part of that shadow work that we always refer to. It's facing those ugly parts of your childhood. Maybe you came from a dirt poor family in a house that barely had floors, and you could only eat 2 or 3 times a week. It happens here. It really does. That's the sad part about it.
Yep.
But you have to face those parts of yourself and know that that's what built you. That's what made you strong. Embrace it. And that's what they start to do when they're called back home, I'll say.
Right. Yeah, and not many people leave, though. And not many people leave and come back and leave. Like, they don't stay gone.
Right.
The little population of people that do get out, they don't come back.
Right.
Or there's the others like us who move away for whatever reason, work, relationships, and we come back because we never lost the love of the mountains. We never hated the mountains.
Exactly.
That's something different in us and them, and because the stigma behind it in their family. And I get it if they want to run away, but that's running away from their problems.
It is,
too.
and they'll never be able to face it until they come back and do that. Whether you choose to stay after that or you choose to move on, you've healed one way or the other.
Exactly.
And maybe this mountain magic ain't for everybody.
No.
Even if you're born here, that don't mean that you get to accept that beautiful magic. It's all about the mindset, people.
It really is. I know coming back home from South Carolina, I lived there for 5 years. Always, when you live here, you're used to the landscape, and I realized that quickly after moving away and coming back, because I'm still in awe every day, and I have a new appreciation for our mountains and our hollers and our safety and so much more. And these mountains are perfect for people like us. Because,
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we are magical people, and it's just that Appalachian magic. You just have to come here and experience it to know, and I believe you would if you're not from here. People are enamored by this area. They come here and film major motion pictures, and they just fall in love. Some of them end up buying properties in the area and all this because it's just that magic that they're feeling, that they crave. It's something that you'll always carry with you, and that's one of the blessed, beautiful things of being an Appalachian American is that right there,
Yeah.
And that's what's helped me a ton on my spiritual journey, that connection with nature, because that's vital in spiritual growth.
It really is. We haven't got out a lot like we wanted to this year because it's just been a big, massive shithole stain. But making the best out of it.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
saying
We're doing
that to be negative.
Doing exactly what we need to be doing. We're in here getting in this sanctuary time. We're facing our spiritual lessons. We're dashing it out. We're figuring out what's going on with us, and we're rising above, and we're being gifted by Spirit so much in return. And it's just a beautiful ride that I never expected. I've always told Holly, 10 years ago, if you told me what I'd be doing now, I'd be like, you're crazy.
Yeah, same.
I can't even fathom it, but it's such a beautiful path. It really is.
It is, and even from the beginning of, I think I started coming out and about and traveling in 2016. But I had already been in the paranormal. You've been in the paranormal. But the whole spiritual, this grasp on your spirituality that we have right now currently in our lives is something that is incomparable to where we began at the beginning of the year. And that's saying a lot, because we have, between the times that, we're not talking about, have profound experiences and growth, but to feel the connection, I can say 100%. I can feel it more now and understand it more now than I ever have.
I truly believe that my 100% real connection with Spirit happened in the summer of 2019. Mm-hmm. It's when I had that aha moment where I knew it was undeniable.
Right.
And then come the summer of 2020, I reconnected with you, and we got excited about spirituality again. And oh my God, guys, it's like the heavens opened up and there stood Jesus.
Clouds open up and there's a Jesus.
No, for real though, wouldn't you say that's what it's been like?
It has. It's like the floodgates were ready to be open. For me, I had suppressed it because I was on a different path in my life. So my spirituality was on the back burner. So how deep I could have went was there for the taking. Same for you guys.
Absolutely.
But we let life get in the way, and we had to take that path. And we always think, oh man, what if we knew this 10 years ago? But this is the thing, we couldn't have known it 10 years ago because we just learned our lessons.
Exactly. The beautiful thing about the spiritual journey for me, and I know you can do this too, is you can look back and see the purpose in everything that was happening at the time.
Yeah.
And, you can piece those together like a puzzle.
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, well, let's try this again. We actually had an unexpected visitor, but we're...
Sanctuary, which happens all the time, by
exactly,
the way.
one of those moments where people just randomly pop in and they just love that good old sanctuary feel.
Mm-hmm. I sure enough do. I am telling you guys, the energy lately has been affecting me so much. I don't know about you guys out there, but my God.
Yeah, it has been affecting me too a lot. I'll notice that I'll be out and just randomly get kind of angry.
Yeah.
And that anxiety starts closing in, and I'm like, holy shit.
It's really, really bad.
The good thing is when you can look at yourself when it's happening and be like, quit being an asshole.
Yeah.
You know that you don't need to be here being an asshole inviting this energy in, so stop it.
Right.
Yeah. And that's cool when you can call yourself out on that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's happening a lot right now, instantly.
It is.
And that's the beautiful part about it. If you are spiritually in tune and you are being aware and recognizing it, it's there. It's right in front of us.
It is, and that's how we slip out of it, guys. And that's how we create our own reality of what I talk about. That's how power of attraction actually works. That's what you're doing. You're inviting a certain type of energy in, and if you believe with everything in you that it is happening, then yes, it will happen, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Yep,
I agree 100%. It's I don't know, guys, we talked about being in touch with spirit, and we feel like that now more than ever, and the law of attraction is another example of that. And you've always read that we are in control of our reality as a matrix scene, and it's true, and we are just dipping our toes into that, and it's not easy. I will tell you that it's not easy to get here.
It's not. It's a lifetime of work to get here, and when you get here, it don't become any easier. We're sitting here every day in deep concentration and deep meditation, trying to figure out our next move, so to speak, what we need to be focusing on, what we have to be doing. Our work ethic is on point right now, and I feel like everybody else's probably is too, because it's something in the air, so to speak. We've got our shit planned for the next year. We've got blogs previously planned that we're going to write. We've got our T-shirts in the making. We've got the Appalachian Roots. My necklaces, your product, your smudge sprays, which you're getting ready to make some
classes coming out.
Classes, workshops, or whatever you want to call them, coming out. Trying to go to as many events as we can so we can make these good, honest connections with people and spread the word of the Lord.
The Lord, the good Lord.
The good Lord.
That's what we tell everybody what we're doing in here.
Yeah, and just use that to your advantage right now. You've got that on your side.
Yeah.
Believe that is true. It is true. I promise it's true. Believe it. Hey, I know you're sitting there thinking in your head, I get it. I know what he's saying. It's probably true. Get it. Do it. Get it in your head. I promise.
Yeah. And you will catch yourself instantly going, stop that negative talk. Because as soon as we put that out there in the universe, it totally cancels out anything that you tried to bring in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the whole process of believing is receiving is believing.
And people have a problem for whatever reason, and it is with receiving. You're taught that you should give rather than receive, whatnot. Yep. But you resist that receiving because you feel like it's asking too much.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're putting in the work, so you're reaping those rewards. So accept those with an open heart and don't let it go to your head, but use it for the good. Use it for spreading the word,
Right. And that's the example of true enlightenment, guys. And that goes back to the Jesus energy. That is using your intent for positive changes and that work that you have put in through your spiritual growth, your own personal spiritual growth, not by a book, not by a class, not by anything else, is to teach you, is yourself, and to learn that one-on-one with spirit. And trust me, like I said, it's not easy. We've been on this road, especially every day for the past
year.
Every day for the past year we've been in meditation. If not in meditation, we are deep in channeling or some sort of profound experiences. And it's just, I can't even really put in words because it's took us down deeper down the hole per se than I thought that I would ever be in.
Same here, and I'm just rolling with it. I'm just rolling with the flow of the energy. I want to receive what I'm working for here. I want to know the answers to the universe. I want to be a part of something bigger.
Yeah. And
that's what I strive for. It's that calling that you feel. We've talked about that back in January when we started the retreats. Mm-hmm. We feel that that's 100% our calling in life. Is to help enlighten people on their spiritual paths. And to be a truly enlightened person, you've got to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk and then do shady shit behind the curtains.
Yeah.
You have to 100% walk the walk. And that, I'm telling you, it's hard to get there, guys, but it's worth it. So you should strive daily to be able to walk that walk as an enlightened one. It's only going to do you so much good. Believe me.
Absolutely. Well, I guess that concludes our session for this version of Contact Buzz.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.